Hello and welcome to the first podcast from Houlton School, recorded in our brand new school in the former Rugby International radio station. Over 4 episodes, pupils and staff from the STEM department will explore ideas around STEM education and the questions our pupils want answering, like what to do when you don't have any ideas, how science is being used to combat climate change, and why is some packaging so frustrating to open. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Houlton School's podcast, STEM Talk. Today I'm joined by Callum, Isla, Sam and Charlotte as we discuss what makes a good piece of art. So if I just go around the table, if you can just introduce yourselves.
I'm Callum.
I'm Isla.
I'm Sam.
I'm Charlotte.
Wonderful. So let's kickstart this conversation. I'm going to keep it quite fluid and quite open so we can all pitch in and discuss our ideas. But I want to first pose the question to you all really of what makes a good idea and how do you know when you're coming up with an idea if it's any good and what that kind of looks like. If I come to you first, Sam, and hear your thoughts on that.
I think to know if it's a good piece of art, you should get other people's opinions on it.
Yeah, so what about if you're coming up with an idea, how do you think you can gain other people's opinions on that idea before you kind of take it any further?
I think you could make a board that a slideshow thing or something like that and present your idea to them and then get their opinion on it.
Yeah, and Isla, what about you in terms of kind of how do you know that you've come up with a good idea or whether the idea is in fact any good?
It kind of, in my opinion, needs to mean something to you or someone else. It needs to kind of have that meaning to it so it can be a good artwork, and if it has a meaning, it will probably turn out better than...
Yeah, I think that's right. I think artwork, we know that artwork needs meaning, and if it's got some embedded meaning in it, then it tends to be more meaningful by default, really, and means that actually people can read different things into it. And Callum, what about you?
I mean, I think a good piece of artwork, it has to express itself as well. Like an example, Tracy Emin, she was in her bed for I think 6 months and then she posted her bed to an art magazine in Japan, I think, and obviously that expresses her that she had to stay in her bed, and that expresses that she had to evolve from that.
Yeah, it's interesting when you mentioned Tracy Emin. I mean, her work, in fact, just lying in bed and that experience probably isn't even an idea, really. I mean, she didn't really have to come up with the idea. She took what was already in place and what was in front of her. And I think lots of artists tend to make work about their daily life or about their existence as a whole. I mean, Charlotte, if I come to you, if I said to you, right, we're going to make a piece of artwork about your daily routine, how do you know if your daily routine is kind of interesting enough? If that's an interesting enough idea?
I'm not really sure.
It is a really difficult question because your daily routine to all of us is quite uninteresting, isn't it? We do it and we wake up, we do what we do, and then we go to bed. But there's something about what you do on the daily basis that has been used as inspiration for artwork for centuries. Sam, have you got thoughts on this?
I think following on from what Callum said, I think it's really good that she actually took all the stuff from her room round to the different art galleries that she went to.
Yeah, it's she didn't change much, did she? It was kind of replication of what she had done, and actually it kind of laid all of her life bare, didn't it? And was quite explicit. And the artwork didn't really change that much. But if we take, say, Banksy's artwork that he recently shredded in the auction, that work did change. So his idea at the beginning, was his idea, do you think, to create the piece of artwork that was there before he shredded it? Or do you think the shredding is actually the idea?
I think he shredded it to make it unique because he's that piece of artwork's very everyone's seen it and he wanted to make it it different for the person.
Yeah, and I think it I mean, I'm going to go straight to Callum. What do you think about it?
I think, like Charlotte said, I think it's it's like it's already there. It's a really good piece of painting, but I think he wants to take it to another step further to see what other people think about it, if it's good or is it bad.
Yeah, and Sam, what's your views on that Banksy piece of work?
I think it could be a possibility that the buyer of it was also in on the prank that he pulled. Because obviously you wouldn't be very happy if somebody shredded a piece of art that you'd bought. So I think maybe the person was in on it, and yeah.
Oh, like you're the skeptic. You think it was like part of the plan all along. Isla, do you think it was that was always the plan, and actually the person who bought it was kind of in on the joke, as it were?
Yeah, I think he might have, because it would be quite interesting to see that it would happen. Because if it just happened, those people just go. The person that bought it would probably go really mad, and I don't really think that was. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because if we take the actual painting to begin with, and then it goes through the shredder, is it a better artwork because it's been shredded, or is it a worse artwork because it's been shredded? Isla?
I guess it's kind of better because art needs to be unique, and that art would be unique because it's been shredded and it's just different to every other piece of art.
Okay, but what if I said to you it was unique before? What if it was unique before, and actually, you know, if we think about the artwork as not actually being the painting, the art isn't actually the painting. The art bit happened when it was shredded. Does it make it a better piece of art, Sam?
I think maybe it could make it a bit more valuable because it got a lot of public attention from everybody when it got shredded. So yeah.
Oh, so does the fact that it was more valuable, does that make it a better piece of art?
I don't think so because I think maybe the art piece was the shredding, but yeah, I don't really know. So.
Yeah, and Callum?
I think I'm with Sam. It might be like he's done a great piece of art that took him quite a long time, and like Sam said, I think the person was in on the joke, because why would you spend millions of pounds just to get a piece of artwork, then it's gone and he didn't get the money back? So I think it should be that he's part of the prank.
And what's really interesting is that you guys are all talking as if that artwork disappeared. In fact, the artwork is still there. It's just shredded. So the painting isn't like it was before, of course not. But actually, the actual artwork in its own right, it still exists. It's just in bits. It's just in strips, like it's gone through a shredder. And I just wonder whether that... I don't know whether it makes it better or worse. I think, like you said, Sam, it's a good publicity stunt, and it caused a lot of media interest, and that without doubt added to its success, I think.
I think it's also the publicity, like the bit, like maybe he wanted the fame and all that. Maybe he wanted even more attention that he already has.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, we don't know who Banksy is, do we? He's a mystery and no one knows. So for him to kind of infiltrate a auction house like this and make something happen means that the mystery of him continues.
I think with him doing the piece of art, it actually adds more mystery onto him because it's like, what is he going to do next?
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, is he the artwork? Like, if we're talking about everything that he does, like he's this mysterious man who goes around the streets and spray paints on side of buildings without being seen, and he's all of this sort of unknown character, is he the artwork? Is he the piece of art because of the way he behaves?
I feel like maybe he has a lot of attention brought to him, and because he makes the artwork, I wouldn't really describe him as the artwork, just the artist.
Okay, interesting. And if we just return briefly to the idea of those ideas that you have to come up with, when you're sitting there and you're coming up with an idea for a piece of artwork, how do you come up with an idea? What can you actually do to generate ideas?
You can either ask other people or use what you've already experienced.
So if you use what you've already experienced, Isla, and you are thinking, I just need to come up with an idea, what can you physically do to come up with an idea? Do you sit there and brainstorm? Do you do a mind map? Do you go and take photographs? What sort of thing do you do when you're trying to come up with an idea for something?
I kind of think what I could do, rule out stuff that I can't do, and get like a mood board or a mind map of things that I do, and then kind of like merge all the art together and make a piece of art.
Yeah, mind maps are a really good way just to get loads of ideas down, aren't they? And to see what you like and what you don't like. Absolutely. Sam?
I think maybe depending on the artist that you are, it depends on what art you're going to create. But sometimes you are able to just like stop and look around you and maybe draw like the art or make it out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if, Charlotte, I sent you out on the street on your way home from school and I said, oh, make a piece of art on your way home, out of what you find, what you see. I mean, you could take a photograph, but what sort of materials might you collect and actually could use to make a piece of artwork?
You could collect like rubbish and stuff off the streets and make like a big pile of like rubbish in a way, or you could use like leaves to sketch out leaves, or you could take pictures of something strange that you haven't seen before outside.
Absolutely, yes. Callum?
I also, like Charlotte said about the leaves and like the sculptures and like woods and things. I forgot who the man's name was, but he made the circle out of twigs and everything, and then he also made like a golden like leaves around the tree, and I think his name was Richard Long.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Long absolutely did that. So he made work on walks, and we'll do some of that over the next few weeks. And actually, I think what I want to get across, and I think we've all kind of discovered, actually, how you create ideas and come up with them and what you think about other artworks, that's all really relevant and really important, but you can make art out of anything around you, okay? So Banksy might be the piece of artwork and his actions make the art. Tracy Emin might use her physical environment, like her bed. But equally, Charlotte here might go round on her way home and make a piece of art on her way home because it's what she does and it's part of her daily routine. And I would learn something about Charlotte if she did that. So we absolutely don't need to spend lots on materials. It's more about the ideas and using what's around you.
I've actually done a piece of art with nature before outside of school because I really I'm into art. So I just went outside and sat on my back garden and drew a tree.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? It could be as simple as that. And actually, I would encourage you next time to draw the tree, maybe with the tree. So actually drawing it with the sticks and actually the material of the tree itself.
I also think when you have a piece of art, it must have a meaning to it. Like Richard Long, he did the leaves around the tree to make it look like a golden light around it to prove that you don't need electricity or things to spend to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think meaning... Okay, apologies about that. We had a bit of a technical error, but well done for... Who was it who spotted that our microphone wasn't working? Oh, well done, Callum. Yeah, well done. So, yeah, we were just talking about meaning, and obviously we're coming to the end now. So we always end these podcasts with one question for each pupil, and I'm going to do the exact same for each of you. And the question is, give me one thing that you're looking forward to doing next week during your school week. So if I come to Callum first, what's one thing you're looking forward to for next week?
I mean, I'm looking forward to art, really, because all you're doing with art is it's like Christmas coming up, and so you want to make things out of physical objects like twigs, leaves and snow, if it does snow this year.
Amazing. And Isla, what's one thing you're looking forward to doing next week?
I am also looking forward to art. I think the art at this school, I love the stuff we're doing in the lessons. I love the subject we've been going on for quite the last term, and I'm really looking forward to art next week.
Amazing. And let's go to you, Sam.
I'm not actually looking forward to, I'm looking forward to art, obviously, but most forward to English because we're currently doing descriptive writing and annotation, and I think that's a really important skill to know. So, yeah, I'm really excited to do that.
Amazing. And last but by no means least, Charlotte.
I think I'm looking forward to art as well because I like how we're using like all the new different things to express our art and things. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you very much, Callum, Isla, Sam, and Charlotte. And join us next time for episode 4. But for now, see you later. Everybody say bye.
Bye!
This podcast was brought to you by pupils and staff at Houlton School. If you would like to find out more about Houlton School, please visit our website www.houltonschool.org.uk. You can also keep up to date on our social media channels. Simply search Houlton School on Facebook and Twitter.